Big up, big up, big up to all those in YouTube land. Sorry I'm dropping a bit of a late one. We couldn't do Blues Brothers today. JPT was on Mrs. duty, so who can blame him for that? But I got a quick thing I want to share with everyone tonight. So like if you got time for me and you're a proper football fan, open up your ears for a second. If not, but fish tanks, flip flops, and narratives. What's going on here? Let's get into this. Big up, big up, big up to all those in YouTube land. Now, I'm here tonight a bit late because I got stuck at work and JPT couldn't make for the Blues Brothers show. So I'm doing a little bit of a late one. But I want to talk to people now about football, not just about the sport. I want to talk about the fans of the sport. I want to talk about the politics of the sport. Because one thing about it is now I do think the idea behind football is now kind of broken. And the reason why I say this is because more recently, I'll big up Andy and Newcastle fan, exactly who I need as well. Big up Andy Bale. Hope you're doing well, brother. The title of this video is called Fish Tanks, Flip Flops, and Narratives. Now, it's because one thing I want to bring up about this is, and I'm not talking digging out individual fans, I'm talking fan bases. Why is it now fan bases, all no matter what club, particularly in England, are split? Why is it you can say one thing, but later on line in the season, you can say something else, and no one remembers that you said whatever else at the beginning of the season when you were flapping your guns? Like, and I'll give you an example, and I'll start off my own team, Chelsea. I've had so many Chelsea fans tell me, you know what, sir? I'm so disappointed we didn't get into the Champions League. What the fuck made you think you were getting into the Champions League with how we played last season? Seriously, what's wrong? Like, everyone's like, oh, Poch could do better. He should be getting Champions League with this team. Why should he be getting Champions League with this team? What's he done? Like, what have Chelsea done over the last 2 seasons to warrant Champions League football? Like, what made, because I do a lot of stuff with Chelsea fans, like obviously with other Chelsea fans like Han, JPT, Ladamus, Deals. And like, it makes me laugh how in this fan base, we still think how we are 3-4 years ago when we should be competing for everything. It's the illusions of godhood. Certain fans in our fan base are out of their fucking minds. And I don't mind saying it. I've seen some things today that I didn't think I'd ever see in my life. And it's kind of getting to the point now, it's a little bit embarrassing. And I'll show you what that incident was, right? And if DJ Crane's around, he'll back me up on this one, right? I was watching Lee Gunner's stream, right? And he said that he will never support Tottenham, even against Manchester City. He'll never support Tottenham. And people have said he's a fake fan. Why is he a fake fan? Because he hates Tottenham. And it's the same thing in our fan base. Everyone thought Poch should have won a cup final. Poch should have got top 4 with this team. It's good enough. Why is this team good enough? What made you think, for what you saw over the last season or 2, that we're good enough? Oh, we're Chelsea. That doesn't give you a right to win. That's a narrative. And that's a narrative my own fan base I can't stand. You don't have the right to win just because your name's Chelsea. And the thing is, a lot of people have been saying about my team about how mudded they are and how crap they are. And it's just like, hang on a minute. Unless you're Man City, you can't say nothing to us. Even Arsenal fans can't say nothing to us. Because over the last 5 years, we've won, 3 trophies? They've won 2. So I wonder where this narrative that somehow, some way, just because we had a bad season last season, and we've had bad seasons under Abramovich, actually, back to back too. Don't forget, we finished 13th under with Abramovich. We've been here before, but yet somehow Chelsea are in the mud this year because we're so crap. And look, we're right there above United, neck and neck with Newcastle. What are you lot bragging about? Seriously, if you wanted me to flip it up. Big up DJ Crane. There you go. Here's a guy I know knows what I'm talking about the narrative earlier, about what Lee was saying, about how people finesse too much. And I'll give you another example. Right, going with my team, right? people believe if we get a striker, it will solve everyone's problems. Why would it solve everyone's problems? Like, what do you think will say if you sign a striker? Our problems are defensive, so why is a striker the solution? I don't get it. Like, what is everyone else seeing that I'm missing? Now I speak. Oh, big up Rosie, Andy, Kate, and Gramps. You're up late, mate. Yeah, like, what have you seen like that puts your club on a pedestal above mine? Because I'm not being funny. Even with for example, Arsenal fans, right? I'll go back to you guys. Say if you guys don't win in the league this year and you finish second, we finish fifth. We get Europe, you guys get Europe, but we've been to one more cup final than you have this year. Does that mean we've had a slightly better season than you? Or is that a narrative? That me just trying to work like how it all goes, you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, another thing applies with Spurs fans, right? This is a team that now pride themselves on the football they play and not the trophies they win. They went out. This year, and this is how sad it is. Their fan base actually bought it. They went out of a cup competition, and then their owner came out saying, "We've got our Tottenham back." It's embarrassing. It's genuinely embarrassing. And the narratives that get spanned in football, and to have someone say to Lee Gunner that he should, if he's not supporting Spurs against City, he's not a real Arsenal fan. Are you smoking? Are you crazy? Ask Rosie, is there any circumstances that she would support Celtic? Ask DJ Crane if there's any like circumstances where he would support Man United. They'll tell you you're out your minds. Absolutely off out your mind. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that actually. 10 days off. I'm going to be with you most of those. But anyway, look, quickly go through the chat. Andrew Bell says hello, Awul. Hello, DJ Crane. Big up, babe. Hope you're doing all right. Mrs. Not bad, thank you. And well, okay, Rosie. NS Sports TV. Big up. 10 days off. Hey, over my dead body. Yeah, exactly. You'd never want anything to do with Celtic, would you? So I find it kind of odd that when an Arsenal fan says he doesn't want Spurs to win, regardless of he's a fake Arsenal fan, it's just like, huh? Like, what's fake about it? Like, for me, yeah, even me as a Chelsea fan, there is no way in hell I would ever support Spurs, no matter what. Doesn't matter who they were playing, even if they were playing against, I don't know, anyone you like. I would never, ever back them. But in this day and age, it's okay if you can earn something out of it, like a quick fix, like a Del Boy or something. Like, you get a penny out of it, it's okay, because that's the narrative. As long as you win something out of it, it's fine. Put Man City. Do you need to chop points against Tottenham in order for Arsenal to win the league? How else are they supposed to win it? Well, the thing is, it's not about if. As an Arsenal fan, if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't say I wanted Spurs to win. I wouldn't say I want West Ham to win. I would just sit there and keep my mouth shut and see what happens and hope they fuck up. Doesn't mean I have to say, oh, I support Spurs. You'll never hear me saying I support Spurs. Ask a Man United fan if they'll back Liverpool. Ask a Liverpool fan if they'll back Man United. Ask a Rangers fan if they'll back Celtic. Ask Celtic if they'll back Rangers. It's never going to happen. Swansea, Cardiff, another heated rivalry that not a lot of people in the Welsh side of things. Do you think, what? Here you go, baby girl. You live in Wales. Ask them, any Cardiff fan, if they cheer Swansea on at any point. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely. But Man City need to drop points. Yes, I am talking about the fact of, yeah, Man City need to drop points. But does that mean you have to support Spurs if you're Arsenal for that to happen? Of course it's not. It just depends on how Spurs play. And besides, I'm not talking about the football. I'm talking about the fan narratives. No. I don't. No. Go watch Lee Gunner's stream and watch the stream, the part when Kenny Ken goes on and says he'll never want Spurs to win, and someone tells him he's wrong because it's against Man City. So I don't need anyone to explain what Arsenal. I've seen it with my own eyes. Go and watch it with your own eyes as well. Kenny Ken's on, and DJ Crane was in that stream, by the way. Kenny Ken was on there. Matt Matt the Southern Gooner was on there, Jez was on there, and Lee Gunner was on there, right? Go and see what they say to Kenny Ken about, oh yeah, by the way, and if you do win, you can't celebrate at the parade. I've obviously looked into this a lot more than you have, NS Sports TV, so don't worry about it. No, they're saying they will support Spurs for the good thing is that pisses me off to do. You see, that kind of narrative there, that's another narrative. Why flip? All right, Rosie, would you ever support Celtic for a day? I'm never going to say nothing. Would you ever support Celtic for a day? Put it in the chat. And I'll just wait for your answer because I already know it's going to be no. So, you know what I mean? This sort of bit supports. But do you know when I was a chat, right, when we were in a final, right, against Liverpool, how many people messaged me and saying, you know what, Simon, today I'm a Chelsea fan. It's like, fuck off. I don't want you as a Chelsea fan today or otherwise. No one can join. This is just me having a talk. No one's joining. All right. If you want to comment, chip in the chat, but no one's joining because I'm having a little say here because Kenny Ken, Jez, right? Cool. Like, I'm very cool with both of them. Kenny Ken's the guy that gave me the name Wolfie. So I'm actually quite offended that someone's talking shit to him. This is why Kenny Ken doesn't do YouTube because he's just been spend all of his time arguing. And there you go. No. There you go. Okay, hang on. Rosie, there you go. There you go. There's the answer. Not in a month on Sundays. There you go. You can't even wear a Swansea shirt if you visit Cardiff or vice versa. Thank you very much. That's because the local rivalry is still there. This is the problem with English football. And another narrative I want to bring into it as well. The English League's the best league in the world. Fuck off. How? The same teams potentially won it 4 years in a row. How farmer do you want to get? Because people say like Germany's a farmers league. Oh, big up Bargav. Hope you're doing all right, brother. As always. Yeah, so people say that Germany's a farmers league. France is a farmers league. So what's England? The same team has won it for potentially the last 4 years. Kenny Ken would be a good YouTuber though. I've said that in the previous stream. I fully agree with you. But the thing is, he ain't going to do it because of the said title of said thing. It's the narratives in sports. It doesn't. This is the thing. This is what I'm getting at. It doesn't matter if you tell the truth or lie anymore, as long as you can chat enough shit where people follow it, spit it. That's why and I said this a couple of times to my friend. Like I'm a baby girl as well, and my friends. Like a lie spoken 1,000 times doesn't make it the truth. How is the English? Someone tell me right now why is the English league the best league in the world? Explain it to me. Tell me why. They're shit in the European Cup, by the way. All right, because I'm not being funny. Try Bayern Munich winning 11 times. Bayern Munich 11 times. Yeah. How many? Okay, look at Man United and Man City over the last 30 years and divide that by them two and see how many numbers. What? 4 Chelsea, or out of 30 years, what? 4 Chelsea, 3 Arsenal, 1 Liverpool, and the rest go to Manchester United or Manchester City. Just saying. Fergie, what? How many times did he win the league in his tenure? 13 times under his tenure? Just saying. Until Arsenal, hey, DJ Crate, until Arsenal challenged Man United, was anyone else challenging Man United? Just saying. And I'm not being funny. If Man City win it four times in a row, are still the true Farmers League. Well, they got further in the European Cup than any English team did. So maybe it's just as farmer, then, isn't it? That's what I mean. You can't call one league a farmers league because one team wins it all the time. Then you look at England, Man City can potentially done their 4th on the spin. It's never done. Farmers league? Just saying. It's far from it. When did a English Premier League last beat a European team? Villa was whooped twice by Olympiacos. Well, it's funny you should mention that, Rosie, because that was the other thing I was just about to say. There's no English teams left in Europe. Dortmund have spent what? A pittance compared to maybe even people like Spurs, us. And they're in a European Cup. Not bad for farmers, isn't it? Does that mean farmers are better footballers than English professionals? Just saying. Because the more you deep it, the more shit it gets. In all honesty, I'm not like you. My most hated team is not Tottenham. It's Arsenal. But that's the difference. You may actively hate them. I actively don't care. It's like when people say to me, who do you want to win the title between Arsenal and Man City? My answer is I don't care because it isn't us. You're putting your energy into the wrong thing. Like, because I'm not being funny. Instead of thinking about who's your most hated, why not just think about fix my own problems at my own team and become better than them? You know what I mean? There you go. Nope. There you go. DJ Crane, what I said. I get that. Here you go. Now let me read out the comments because it's an interesting debate, but it's a narrative. And as Rosie's just said, how is this the best league in the world when in 1 week 4 teams got chucked out at once? Oh, by the way, the only survivor was Villa. Oh, and Olympiacos, who is even more from a budgie league than what these other leagues are, like the German. And they had to. What was the fight? Could someone remind me of the aggregate score? How much Olympiacos beat Villa by the way? Can someone remind me? Can someone remind me what Atlanta did to Liverpool at home? 3-0. That is from a Farmers League or a dead league with half the budget of even the smallest Premier League team, and they slapped Liverpool up at home. Never going to go 10 on in a row. What makes you say they're not going to go 10 in a row? If they go this, wait, I'm not being funny. If they win this, what's to stop them from winning from next year and the year after that? 6-2. What's that regards to? There you go. That's the Olympiacos score to Villa. There you go. From a Farmers League against the proper league in England, 6-2 to Olympiacos. Who's the farmer? Just saying. Here you go. Atlanta, yeah, exactly. They pasted them at home 3-0. Tactically, they shut them down. Defensively, they locked them out. And attackingly, they slapped them. Just saying. 4-2. What scores for that, Rosie? Was that for the Liverpool score? But yeah, it doesn't matter because the damage was done in the first game, really. Atlanta just came to Liverpool and just went, oh, what, you think you're tough in Europe, do you? You think it's just because it's Europa League, and went, bang, here you go, across your face. So again, a narrative. We've just sat there and you've just now said the Premier League is the Farmers League, not the Farmers, everywhere else is. But yeah, I've just told you how a little shit Olympiacos, and DJ Crane just put the score in there, beat them 6-2. So if these boys are farmers, what are we? Movie stars? Wannabes? Prima donnas? Just saying. Oh, yeah, here you go, yeah. This is how great Liverpool are. Yeah, they're fantastic, the mighty Reds. This is how shit they are. And Man United and Chelsea, you know what I mean? Like, they were winning at 85th minute, and they're winning 3-1. By the 90th minute, they're this close to losing. It's mad. It's absolute. How do you think other leagues would be if the fans spoke English? Well, I don't even think that, Bargav. You know what I think? How much more would these other teams be getting piped or be being promoted, I should say, if they had as much money as the Premier League? Because realistically, that's where the Premier League far surpasses all others. The amount of money in it. Because it ain't European titles, is it? Who's dominated in terms of, we all know who's dominated the European Cup, whether it be World Cups or whatever else. It's been Spain, isn't it? So, yeah, exactly. It's the money. Big up, Rosie. There you go. Bargav, are you just saying? Yeah, exactly. Hashtag. But yeah, Bargav, are you a Spurs fan tomorrow? And I'm not judging. It's not something I would do. I'm asking. Like, you know what I mean? It's money, exactly. And I'm not gonna lie, that still doesn't, even if you do say put that still puts it even more embarrassing. Because literally, Olympiacos have spent what? A tenth of what Villa have spent over the last 6 or 7 years, if that. And they absolutely demolished them, home and away. So how this another narrative? It pisses me off. Yeah, okay. Another narrative that gets spun in England, that Liverpool are brilliant. No, they're not. They're going out like a limp cock. This is how right Klopp's season's gonna go out. It's gonna go new, and that's it. He'll be gone. And I'm not being funny. I said these guys were gonna win the league, but I'm not even being funny. Over more recently, like Rosie said, they've looked like a mid-table team. No one can tell me Liverpool look like the same team. Like, it feels like the language plays a part. You might be right in terms of I get what Bargav's saying in terms of the cultural thing, because obviously a language does, obviously, if more people speak in English, then more people can hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, brother. Language is a very big form of control as well, as you know. Like, particularly if you've been to a country or wherever where certain languages are oppressed. You know what I mean? Well, Scottish teams speak English. Yes, that's true. But it's funny how Scottish leagues, I don't know, like sometimes Scottish teams have good runs in European. Okay, Rangers themselves got to a European final not 2 seasons ago. Speaking, my baby girls of sorts. It's great. But again, what makes, in terms of Europe, what makes most English teams superior to most Scottish teams? Because the answer to that would be none. Because realistically, in England, sorry, so I just don't like my country's pride being hurt. Well, fair enough. Like you can always have pride in who you are and where you're from. That's not the thing. There you go. They got pumped by Benfica. But you know, Benfica's no joke as well. They happen to be one of the big European clubs with history as well. If you know about people like Eusebio and all them like that, if you know, you know. But that's it. I'm not going to go into a history lesson of other teams. Maybe I could do that actually because there are other big teams out there that should be. Olympiacos are one of them, by the way. Olympiacos, just because of the money in football, that they're just seen as a small team. They're a huge club. Right, there you go. I still think that teams that dumped all the English teams are shit. Well, that's fine. Again, this is a narrative. If you think the teams that dumped English teams are shit, then England teams in turn are shit. Logic. It's simple logic. Big up the funny man of Real Madrid. There you go. Well, there you go. There's the benchmark of football because they dominate the European Cup. It doesn't matter how much, because that's the thing. That's another narrative. Pep's the best manager ever. No, he's not. Carlo Ancelotti is. Because he's the one who don't. If you look at the manager who's won the European Cup most often over the last 20 years, it's Carlo Ancelotti. I think Pep's twice, 3 times. Carlo's 4, 5, maybe 6. It's stupid. Dortmund is a nice team in this. They are. They're a club with culture. This is the thing. I guarantee you, right? And anyone that says Bundesliga is a farmers league, right? Go and listen to that in Schalke or Dortmund or Bayer Leverkusen or Munich. Go listen to their atmospheres. When they're watching their teams, they treat it like it's a party. When you look at an English football team, particularly the bigger teams, when you go down and watch a football game, it's like watching an executive meeting. Everyone's quiet, waiting for something to happen. That's the one thing I miss about English football. There's no atmosphere to it anymore. It's dead. Even when they used to make 20 years ago, when they made the joke about the library, about Stamford Bridge being the library, the atmosphere has become so corporate, even in the bigger stadiums. It's dead. The atmosphere is absolutely dead. Right? You watch the Yellow Wall, right? When Dortmund played PSG. Right, that was something no one thought they were going to do. But when you watch them at home, the crowd were rocking, they were buzzing all night long. When they scored, they all went nuts. The Yellow Wall started bouncing. It was sick. What does that say about Villa? Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. It's the narratives, the flip-flops, and the fish tankers. Because all those people that were saying at the beginning of the season, oh yeah, English teams are the best. We've got the best league in the world. And now probably sitting there saying, oh yeah, Real Madrid are going to win the league, win the European Cup now. It's just embarrassing. Like, big up Wolfie says, Taib, I'm all right, mate. Thank you very much. How are you, funny man, sir? They play well together. Who plays well together? I don't know if you're being sarcastic in their sports. Real Madrid are the benchmark of football, even compared to Barcelona, because since the inception of the European Cup, that is the reason why Real Madrid was seen as the benchmark. Because when it first came out, they won it 5 times in a row with Puskás and Stefano and all them lot. That's why they're seen as the benchmark. Because when you comes to being the best in Europe, you want to prove yourself the best. You do it in the European Cup because you can say it over everybody else. I think, well, unless I'm mistaken. Rosie, I'm being sarcastic. Well, you may be being sarcastic, but you're right. Who's won the Champions League the most? So Real Madrid won it 3 times in a row. What, 4 or 5 years ago? Wolfie, I just want to say I'm glad you were able to do a stream after getting punched up earlier. I can't believe they caught the bastard. Punched up by who? That's what I want to know. Anyway, Real Madrid drew with Bayern Munich about 3 weeks ago. Not exactly world class. Well, I'm not being funny. That's what happens when you get 2 big teams go up against each other. They're going to look a bit because they're equals. Okay, were Olympiacos and Aston Villa equals? Just saying. Big up. What? Thank you, Ty. Much obliged, man. Hope you doing all right, man. I haven't seen you in my chat in a little bit, man. I hope you're all right. If I knew German, French with those languages leagues, I would agree on that. And the thing is with bar guys, and that comes down to culturalism, right? And that's one thing I will say. I will have to kind of deal with it. Hang on, pardon me. No. One second. 1 minute. Oh right, yeah, the Steve, but yeah, I've heard that one, mate. Yeah, several times already. Believe it or not, I've had about 2 people already message me that. No, that's not Naz, Rosie. Bro, clear red card and a clear penalty in the Villa game were not given. Well, I'm not being funny. Again, we get into more narratives, more fish tanks, flip flops, and narratives. Like in terms of the rules. What rules? Because it depends on who's refereeing the match, what standard of rules apply. Because let's be honest, like even with VAR and people sitting there watching playbacks of it, you can clearly handball a ball in a penalty box from a free kick, pull your hand away, and you don't even get a corner. Just saying. You are Chelsea's answer to Lee Gunner. No, I'm not Chelsea's answer to Lee Gunner because Lee Gunner is his own man and I'm my own man. The only difference is I'm not going to sit there and listen to people waffle shit forever because it's boring. It's boring. It's boring. And another narrative, a narrative from Arsenal fans, right? Why are you guys still acting like you're in a title race? All you can do is keep on winning and just hope City lose. That's it. That's it. That is genuinely it. Because one thing about it is when you lose it out of your own hands and you got to rely on everybody else, you're kind of like teetering on the precipice of failure. Don't ask me what. Hey, if you want to talk about my own club, my own club to my own standards this year have tremendously failed. We've not been competing for first and we've not been in the Champions League. We've sucked. And somehow we're still close to getting Europe and being in a cup final. Like I said a minute ago, because we've been to a cup final, if Arsenal finish second and we end up finish fifth, we've been to a cup final, they haven't. Who's had a better season? Just saying. It's not all about other teams dumping English teams. Sarcasm. Well, the thing is, it's funny what Bargav said because realistically, it's like he said about the culture of football. Is it that where it's the English language, it's where that kind of dominance of it spins off it because it's the mother tone of it, like the Mara narrative is like the one everyone follows. And I think no, because back in the day, football, it used to be more generalized. Just because you had the most money didn't make you the most popular. So, you know what I mean? And a great example would have been like that, compared that the Munichs and stuff compared to like the Leeds and like of like the 70s and stuff like that. And like some of the teams in the 90s. Because when you look at like major cash, I know people will laugh about when they see players going for 60, 70 million now. That shit started off with Zidane in Italy in the 90s when Juventus bought him. Sorry, well, no, was it the Juventus bought him from Thingy. Where did he play before that? And they bought him for like 60 million or whatever else. How much do you think Florentino pays referees a year? Well, he may pay them whatever he pays them, but they still win. You know what I mean? If they win the European Cup, do you think they'll care about this comment? They'll be like, this is our... The thing is, that's the thing. They don't even see winning it as an achievement. They see winning that trophy as a given right and something they have to do. It's like their mission. We can do everything. We can flop everything else. But if we win the European Cup, keep the standards up should be the priority of every big club. Well, this is what I'm saying, Tayyip, right? And going back to the Arsenal narrative, everyone's praying for City. Why don't we go back to the Villa game and we pray that we actually put up a better performance at home? They don't palm us in the second half. Why didn't we keep it in our hands? Why you now got to look at Spurs? This is what actually made me laugh. Real bought him from Juve. Yeah, I know. Hang on. I think it was Parma he was at. Hang on, let me just check it because he was bought from another Italian team as well before Juve bought him. 1 minute. I think it was Parma. I can't remember. Because I know he had one big transfer before he went. I know the Madrid one was ridiculous though. Oh no, it was the Bordeaux one. It was the one. No, it was Bordeaux. It was Bordeaux. My bad. It was more Bordeaux. Oh, Cannes. Yeah, it was the first French team. Sorry, there were 2 French teams. I thought it was only one. My bad. But yeah, like the narratives that people spin, that it's just mad, man. Even the phrase "hate along" that's cropped up over the last couple of weeks. Where the f did that come from? Here you go. Arsenal and Porto were equals. Well, realistically, for much of that tie, they were. They beat you away at their. Well, realistically, other than maybe a couple of goals here and there, they beat you at their ground, and you beat you at them at yours. You know, Olympiacos, they're farmers and flip flops and all that kind of thing, but they still pounding Aston Villa 6-2, and we're at Aston Villa in the Premier League, fourth. So this is the fourth best team in England, which Panathinaikos can stick 6 goals past. Just saying. Real Madrid and City are equals, though. No, they're not. How are Real Madrid and City equals? In what respect? How? How are Real Madrid and City equals? Excuse me. Man City's one European. They ain't even got more European cups than us. Like Man City's one European cup. Real Madrid's 14. There's a world of difference between Man City and Real. If this is a genuine question, you need to go back and look in the mirror, mate, and analyze if you actually know football. Chelsea, hands down. Just saying. There you go. Real Madrid brought from you. Yeah, I got onto that. GJK, it's kind of mad. Most people doing watch-alongs rooting for Spurs. Well, this is it. But you know why? This is where fans used to own clubs, where corporations now own clubs, where fans would never back the opposition under any circumstance because they lived in the area, they were raised in it, like your Jezzas and the Kenny Kens. You flip to the people that don't live in the area, don't care because they're nowhere near London. They talk about the North London derby as being a myth to them because they don't actually live in London. They couldn't give a shit because they're either up north, south, east, west, or in another continent somewhere. The actual meaning of a London derby to them is meaningless because they don't live in London. So they've got no idea about the heritage of it. Because when you look at all the big rivalries in football, particularly like in the Premier League, like the Man Uniteds, the Liverpools, the Arsenals, the Spurs, it's all caked in history. Right, the Spurs see Arsenal as the North London invaders. They were in Woolwich, they came over. They were we had to fight them off, but then Arsenal came. But we're more successful than you. We've got Premier Leagues. We're the real North, and that's where all the North London rivalry started. The hate between Liverpool and Man United started because of the dock workers. When Liverpool, I think Liverpool was more inland than Manchester. So Manchester started getting bypassed and they came in and it started all going to Liverpool. So the Manchester lot hated the Liverpool lot. And that's how all the rivalry all span off. It's the tradition of the clubs. And that's what's getting lost. The tradition and the culture of the football clubs. And that's what happens when you get corporate football. In terms of quality on the pitch, bro, the quality on the... All right. In the chat, there's 8 people viewing. If you're like me and you're a bit old and you're about touching your 39s and all that kind of shit, yeah. Tell me if the quality of football on the pitch has actually got better, or if the grass has just got better that they kick around on. Because if you're talking about quality of football, that's gone down amazingly because they're all copycats. And that's another narrative I want to get onto. Why does everybody copy one guy? Like, why does because Pep plays out from the back, does everybody else have to play from the back? Everybody else has got a press. Why is it like this nation has become a nation of copycats when it comes to football? I like having in my identity as a Chelsea fan. Sometimes we play rugged, slow football, but sometimes we can play hard, fast football. Pauls. I don't want to play like Barcelona. Fuck Barcelona. I beat Barcelona on the way to a European Cup. I don't want to be like Barcelona because I know how to beat Barcelona. You defend hard. That's what Chelsea were known for. Defending hard, countering, having your own style. Why would I give a shit about any of that? I don't want to play ticky-tacky. Fuck ticky-tacky. Yeah. The only thing that's ticky-tacky to me, mate, is when I order my Chinese. I don't give a shit about it any other time. Why would I care about ticky-tacky football? Why do I care about 25 passes between my centre-back and my right-back and my left-back? Why would I even give a shit? Because goals look prettier. Half the styles of football that teams are trying to play in the Premier League right now, they can't do. And that's why they got exposed in Europe. They try and play quickly, not better. That's the problem with English teams. They've tried and focus more on being athletes than actual footballers, and that's where it's starting to fall apart. I think it's just getting bad. It's just getting really bad. Bargav, I love Arsenal channels for having Spurs mods. See, that doesn't make sense. You're effectively having the enemy run your camp. So I don't know exactly what DJ Crane's referring to on this, but why would you, in your right mind? Was that American? Just out of curiosity, that channel. I got a feeling. Oh no, I think I know who he's talking about. No, don't answer. I know what you're perspecting. It's perspective and where people are focusing on their energy. Yeah, but Rosie, that's the thing is they're not focusing on themselves, and that's what they should be doing. Oh, like Lee Gunner said it himself. If we didn't fuck up against Aston Villa, we wouldn't need to rely on Spurs. So why isn't everyone talking about do better against Villa? It's mad. Absolutely mad. It's chalk and cheese for me. Absolute chalk and cheese. Don't get it either unless you're useless or go to college or something. Sorry about that. My drink just spilled a little bit. Yeah, I hear you. But that's what I mean. Being a football supporter is like being a lawyer. Like, as long as you can chat the right amount of shit and get... I'll tell you what, going back to my own fan base, right? There's a certain guy called Johnny Minerals in the Chelsea fan base. Now, I don't hate him. He can do whatever he wants, right? Now, he's got whatever subscribers he's got. And he's reasonably popular. And a lot of people like him, which is fair enough. You do your own thing. But the guy talks shit. I mean, like, transparent. Like, you know that symbol, that sign there, the football has gone to shit. You know where that DJ Crane's put that little shit symbol, right? This guy turned around and said that when Arsenal bought Kai Havertz off Chelsea, they got their Bergkamp replacement. What universe was you watching where Kai Havertz had the level of skill, ball control, and technique that Dennis Bergkamp did? Dennis Bergkamp's an invincible. At best, Kai Havertz is potentially a Premier League winner and a Champions League winner. At best. But between the two players, where in your own mind or narrative did you see Dennis Bergkamp in Kai Havertz? It's... When he said that, bro, I was just like, you know what? You do your thing, bro, but I'm never going to listen to you again. It's just like... No, I was hang on. No, I was following on from my statement saying that Real Madrid were equals when Man City equals in the sense of they had good quality players on the pitch. All right, they've got equal teams, but that doesn't make they got equal clubs. Team and the club, difference. Don't get me wrong. Man City would love Real Madrid's trophy cabinet. I know that much. And again, so would I. No doubt. Quality of football is far worse now than it ever was. You're damn straight, baby girl. And the thing is, it actually genuinely, people actually playing is genuinely declining, and it's getting worse. And it's all about just making them run faster or more, because now they want to add another 13 games in the Champions League. They're fucking up football hard, man. They really are. On the pitch are. Yeah, I understand what you meant, mate. Don't worry. Bargav, is it she knows Arsenal? Who knows Arsenal? I apologize if my comments have confused you, and if I could super chat, I would. No, it's fine, bro. You're more than what? Nah, man, you ain't got. Nah, that's all good. You're fine. I don't know. Henri emphasized little. Oh, I see. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. Well, let me ask you, right? And this has got to all the Arsenal fans out there, right? Do you think Henri will be sitting there chatting, hoping Spurs, or what do you say? Do you think he'll be supporting Spurs tomorrow? Tell the Chelsea lot. You think Lampard will be back in Spurs against or bloody thingy against City? He ain't gonna give a shit about both. It'll be like, well, Chelsea aren't winning it. It's irrelevant, really, isn't it? What are your thoughts on fans saying they would rather have less trophies if it didn't mean paying referees? Well, it's bullshit, really, isn't it? Because we're never going to get rid of referees. So what's the point? But anyway, I've ranted and raved for a little while, and I'm just beginning to get really sick of this narrative crap. You know, the whole lot, man. The way the media spins things, this whole the English league is the best league in the world. All of it it's just span crap, really. And I'm not being funny. Like, in one of the, I think he would blame himself if he was still playing. Probably, well, in terms of Henry, 100%, because Henry was a winner and he would want to win. That's it. He wouldn't want to talk about who's going to win between two other opposition fan like teams. He'd be like, "Why aren't I in the conversation?" That's exactly the kind of mentality Henry would have, and I think Drogba and them that would be the same. What time is it means like his fans having less trophies, knowing that trophies came without the help of referees? Well, that's chalk and cheese. Because I'm not being funny. Arsenal have been caught for match fixing in the 90s under George Graham. Chelsea have been done. Man United have been done. City are going to get done. Liverpool had Hillsborough when their fans collapsed one of their own stands. Every team's got dirt. Every team's got dirt. Hey, Jesus Christ, Nottingham Forest Anderlecht a few years ago admitted that they gave 10 grand to a referee in a European Cup final against Nottingham Forest in the 70s. They didn't even take the cup away from them. Just gave them a ban from Europe that wasn't upheld, by the way, and a 30 grand fine. They never got the trophy taken away from them, even though they openly admitted that they conned the referee 10 grand. Think I'm bullshitting? Go and check it. As I said, flip-flops, narratives, and fish tanks. Fish tank for you to bury your head in. The flip-flops, the ones that can say one thing and say something else and go back to it, and it doesn't matter what they say, they're never wrong. And the narratives, it doesn't matter how many times, it doesn't matter if it's a lie. If it's spoken 1,000 times, it makes it the truth then, doesn't it? I know, I get what you're saying. I know what you mean. But again, that applies to us. If we weren't cheating, what we would have got? Apparently, Roman Abramovich, he was lying in everyone's pockets the whole time he was here. That could apply. What if NS Sports TV? How about that, right? If it turns out that if all the trophies got taken away from cheating and we lose all our trophies, what do you say then? Just saying, because you don't know what's been cheated for or not, so you can't sit there and say that unless you have a very 100% understanding of who's cheated and who hasn't, and you've got it signed, sealed, confessed both ways. You can't make that judgment because you could be guilty. Just saying. If he was still playing, the team would be on another level as it was. Well, unfortunately, I think Henry winning that Champions League final when they were in 2006 would have been his sign-off. But he stayed because of the leaving Highbury. I think that's the main reason why he stayed on the extra year, because they were leaving Highbury and it was special to him. Henry didn't even watch a game when Xhaka was captain. I wonder why. Anthony Hibbert has the right idea, says he won't even support Spurs. Well, that's not even the idea. If you're an Arsenal fan, that should go without saying. Just like me as an Arsenal fan, as a Chelsea fan, it goes without saying I should never support Fulham or Spurs or QPR or whoever else happens to be in London. You know what I mean? So, as I said, go with the history and the culture of the club, not narratives, not flip-flops, and not fish tanks. Just saying. Imagine celebrating us. I would rather be dead. I would never celebrate. To be honest, that's what when people say to me that who do you like over the sea? Who do you want to win between Arsenal and Man City? Fuck both of you. How about that? I don't want either of you to win. If either of you two win, fair enough. But I don't. If it ain't my team, I don't care. Like I said earlier in the stream, if it ain't my team, I don't give a shit. So that's just the way it is. But I just love the way all this is all being spun. It's all being wound up and twisted, and you know what I mean. I've still got people coming up to me asking me in 5 minutes for Kai Havertz when I've got people that double his output. Just saying. And I'm not even talking about anyone I stream with, by the way, because a lot of this happens in conversations, not on stream. So I will say that. But trust me, people talk shit to me off stream. Trust me. Did Tony not say he'd be supporting Spurs? I don't give a shit, Rosie, because it's not something I would do. Tony will say he's shameless, but the thing is, Tony says what he says in the heat of the moment of a football fan because he's doing an emotional diss. That's all it is. That's just he banters people. That's just the way he handles it. Good on him, man. That's it. I'm not really interested in what I could. Tony is his own man, just like I'm my own man. Just like I said, I'm not like Lee Gunner. Tony does his own thing too. That's up to them. But what I'm sick and tired of is seeing the truth and all these narratives span around when the truth's right in front of you. It's just like, why would you believe lies? It doesn't matter if you say it 1,000 times, it's still false. You know what I mean? But anyway, hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with a Blues Brothers stream with me and JPT. Again, he wasn't he was doing like family duty today, so I had to leave him to it. But hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. But it's just one of those ones where some of the things I've seen today are crazy. Even just on my own team, just like people were saying to me, why don't you think Poch didn't get top 4 with the squad he's got? Well, half of it wasn't even fit up until 3 days ago, and I got told at the weekend you can't use injuries as an excuse, or even when you got 14 of them. Just saying, that's most people's squads, considering most squads are 22 people. So that's what, 60% of your squad out. But it's an excuse. There you go. Who knows? Apparently, yeah, when you're playing Gilchrist at right back, you should be getting Champions League football. Anyway, I digress. Big up everyone in the chat. Thank you for having a little chat with me this evening. But I was mainly shocked. Like, this is just mainly a reactionary thing, considering what I've just seen today. People getting called fake because like they don't back Spurs, or they don't do this, or they don't do that, man. Certain people need to fucking have a look at themselves. And it's beginning to annoy me as well. And I'll tell you what, yeah, even as a Chelsea fan, I'll say this. Don't big up to Big Unks. Don't disrespect him. Because he's probably the first person you run your mouth to is the last person you'll say it to their face. 100%. Oh, thanks, Rosie. Rosie says, looking forward to the Blues Brothers stream. Big blue hearts. Cheers. And obviously, she's a blue girl herself, being Rangers. But anyway, thank you, everyone, for taking part. Bargav, Rosie, DJ Crane, NS Sports TV. Please give this guy a like and a subscribe if you haven't. I know he does his own content. Big up Taib as well, which quickly popped in. Said hello. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are very well and taking care of yourself. And all you other beautiful people that have dropped in. So thank you very much. Steve wears thongs. Facts. Well, you better go and have a word with him. That's one of Rosie's best mates. I will, DJ Crane. In a bit. Take care, people. Oh, by the way, big up to Leroy and the Fight Week show, by the way. You guys didn't end up doing a watch along for them on Saturday, did you, Leroy? I didn't see anything. I know you told me Jordan might have done, but I didn't see nothing. I was just thinking, did I miss that on Saturday night? Because I looked and I didn't see nothing. But in case, message me and let me know. Right? Well, why are you thinking about it, you disgusting man? You. I said just between us in private, man. Don't air it on the streams. Nah, next one will likely be UFC 302. Oh, all right then. Well, fight fans, keep an eye on that as well. Keep an eye on that. I need to get you back on here, Leroy, actually. It feels like a hot minute since I on your mic, son. Farm animal. Okay. You're real. Anyway, big up you beautiful people. Stay safe. And I'm out of here. This is your Wolf Boy.